So, what are the proven methods of human improvement? What do we mean by that? And the reason they're so important is when you set up activities and meetings to take advantage of these, things get done. All right. These are just there's two groups of them. One of them are functional methods, and the other one's formational methods. But the functional methods, um, when these things take place, we improve. Okay. So I'm just going to go through the list. There's a paper that lists them, a PDF in the uh, materials, but it's not hard. All right. The first one is called contrition, uh, or truth. In other words, telling the truth, telling it straight. And when you create a situation where things are tracked and someone almost has to tell the truth, then getting people to say things in front of other people, it is powerful. It makes people think about what they're doing and saying. Oath taking, like it or not, and we can say that people, I hear people say that people are less honest now than they used to be. You can't do business on a handshake. I don't know if any of that's true, but I can tell you that it is still very powerful when someone says, I'll do this, and they are looking you in the eye and you're looking them in the eye, maybe you're holding their hand, it is much more likely to happen. Creating a bias for action. All right. Bias for action, we've talked about it before. It's a big deal. It makes companies work better. It makes individuals work better. Stop thinking about it, make a decision, and go. The public square. This is huge. And our Daymaster meeting uses the public square. It gets people together for a very short amount of time, and it shows who's late, who has what to do, things like this. And just putting it up there for everyone to see. Anything that can be done, can be shown and shared in the public square is much more likely to get action on it. People care about what the public sees of them. So it's why transparency is so effective and so useful. Tallying or tracking. When you keep track of stuff, things get done. All right. What you don't keep track of, it's almost impossible to improve. That's all there is to it. Deciphering, or you can call that understanding. That means when you're looking at things and you take the time to figure it out, to go through and think about what happened and why. Getting to the truth by thinking things through isn't easy. It takes time. It's also incredibly effective. Next one is captaincy. This is huge. One person in charge. When you put a committee in charge of doing something, it's very slow moving most of the time. All right? Have one person in charge of every task, one person in charge of a product. They can have all the help they want, but that one person, that's the person in charge, and that's the person who is responsible. That's the captain of the ship. If the ship goes down, it's the captain's fault. Okay? Or if it succeeds, the captain gets credit. Barn raising. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I've never seen the whole thing done. I've seen little bits and pieces. But when people used to get together to raise a barn, and in some places they still do, massive numbers of people come together with a task at hand to get it done in a short amount of time. And what's also very important is they all know their role. They can build a barn in a day. It's amazing. Don't be afraid to get people together to do a particular task, give it a short deadline, clearly decide who's in charge of what, and go get it done. It works. Now, these are more like group formational, is what we call them, methods. All right. The first one is camaraderie. And this goes back to, I think I've already spoken about connection. When a group of people consider themselves a team, and they work together and they feel the bond. The military does a lot of work to try and create this. Camaraderie is very, very effective. Embracing a code. When an organization has a code and a person recites the code, takes the code, swears by the code, when a code is embraced, it's very powerful. And businesses and organizations can have a code. Individuals, create your own code of ethics. It's a very strong thing. Swift justice. Justice delayed is justice denied. Another person, Jocko Willink, who's an author I really like and a former Navy SEAL, um, he says, it is not what you say that establishes the expectation, it is what you tolerate, the lowest thing you'll tolerate. But justice needs to be just, and if it takes too long, it's very frustrating for everybody and it doesn't seem to matter. Okay? And the last one is wisdom. It's hard to get this without years. Therefore, it needs to be respected. But a person doesn't have to need to be terribly smart if they're wise. Wise people look around them. They see further down the road. They see opportunities sooner. They see boulders sooner. They see things in the way. And they just calmly make wise decisions. So, those are important and come into play in a lot of things that Arena Success Group does, and they should come into play in a lot of the things that your organization does. Thank you.